Hey guys, I'm Greg. This is Stephanie. This is our podcast, Living in Key West. We're both real estate agents. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or have your property managed, go ahead and reach out to us. We may be a little late. So for everyone that is used to our podcast dropping right on the dot at Monday morning at 6 a.m., well, we late today. So
we're a few hours late.
What's up, Stephanie? We're actually shooting this on Monday.
Yes, we are shooting this on Monday.
In a new spot.
We are.
We're trying this out.
I'm kind of digging this spot. I do wish we had slightly more comfortable seats, something with a back.
Yes, especially for an old man.
But that's my only. But I love the view we have. Mm-hmm. It's very tropical. Yeah. So.
And we're exciting. Twinning.
And we are twinning with our blue light glasses.
So what's going on?
Well, I think the thing that's top of mind for me is that we went to a really cool event at the studios.
I thought you were going to say it was my birthday this week.
Oh, well.
Silly me.
It's Greg's birthday this week. Yes, that is top of mind. But I was thinking back because we always talk about the previous week. So we went to a cool event on, was it Saturday night?
Yeah, Saturday night.
Saturday night at the studios. Here, hand me my book that I have here.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So it says The Cucaracha Chronicles presents Smugglers Tales. So it was a really interesting format of an event. It was like we had a VIP table. So we had a table that was like right up front by the stage. There's maybe
10
VIP tables. Yeah. And then there was, just lots of just seating in the back.
Movie theater seating.
And it's kind of like it was a nice size theater, but it wasn't gigantic. So it felt, I thought, intimate. But anyways, there was 5 guys up on the stage and they were all just having a conversation. Like even when we came in, they were already having a conversation, right? Wasn't it 5? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it was 5. And they were already having a conversation. So we were kind of like eavesdropping, which I thought was cool.
Essentially like a fly on the wall.
Like a fly on the wall. Yeah, absolutely.
They didn't have an audience.
No, well, yeah. And they were all in some form or fashion involved in smuggling back in the 70s and 80s, which was huge in the Florida Keys and in Key West. It was really, really big. And so the statute of limitations has run out. And so they are able to talk about a lot of their stories.
And a little more.
Yeah, yes, a little bit more, yes. So they were just like sitting around having rum and cokes and having snacks. They had snacks on the table. And it was like if you were sitting around and listening to like your uncles or your grandparents or whatever, like talk and tell their funny stories or really interesting, sometimes scary or nerve-wracking stories
for them.
Yeah.
Not like ghost stories.
No. For them. Yeah. For them. It was nerve-wracking at the time.
I imagine a lot of it was nerve-wracking.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think so. So it was really interesting and we laughed a lot. They were very funny, very engaging. And you guys may remember we kind of talked about this a smidge because we had Wayne Garcia on our podcast. We interviewed him, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago at this point now. And he's a phenomenal storyteller and he was kind of the MC. So he was one of the 5 guys on the stage and he kind of, kept things on track as much as possible and, helped facilitate the conversation and also told some of his own stories. So he told the Big Pine 29, which he told on our podcast, but it was awesome. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was interesting. And I know that they didn't even, it was like an hour and a half. And I know that they didn't even scratch the surface of.
Because there's multiple stories that's just in the
little program.
In the program that they didn't talk about.
Right. So, like I was reading, there's like a blurb and it's like, they start naming off like all these stories. Like, oh, have you ever heard the story of it? And it's like, they're probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 stories they kind of promote here. And there's like 3 that they told at the event. So, so it was awesome. And also one of the guys, so we weren't allowed to take pictures or videos or record or anything. So it was very like private, which I thought was really cool. But one of the guys has written a book that's called Key West, A Smuggler's Tale. And it's by Richard Conchs Gomez. So you'll notice that, especially here in Key West, it's funny, so many people, we've talked about this, have
names.
Like
Hot Dogs.
Sharpie
Man.
Guy Dan.
Yeah.
There was one guy.
Greg.
Sniffles.
Sniffles.
Right? Richard Conch Boy Gomez. They all have like really funny nicknames. But anyway, so Richard was one of the guys who was on the stage telling his tales, and he's written this book, which as I'm reading it, it's a fiction book, but I think that it is very largely based on truth.
Yeah.
It's based on true stories, but like names have been changed and small details have been changed. And I just started it, but I noticed some things that he mentions the Sugarloaf Key 23, which I think is a nod to the Big Pine 29. So it's being slightly modified, but it is so it's a work of fiction, but it is very heavily based on a lot of his experiences as a smuggler. So I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great event. They're supposed to be doing another one in the fall.
Yeah, and it was their first time ever doing that. So obviously there's going to be some kinks to work out.
Absolutely.
Number one would be turn the AC up.
Oh my gosh, it was so hot when we got in there.
It was. Yes. It was brutally hot.
It was.
In the theater.
It was very hot. Yeah, they should.
I think they were trying to make it like we were actually sitting outside in Key West. But
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, this is too authentic.
Yeah, it's too authentic because once you walked right outside, it was like, oh my gosh, so cool. So I don't know.
I think they turned the AC on too late. They should just turn it on earlier.
It should be running all day to get
it cooled down.
Yeah, because it was very warm.
Yeah,
that was to me like the worst part of it because it was like once you're sitting there for an hour and a half, which really isn't that long.
Yeah.
When it's that hot though, it seems like a lot longer.
Well, and also, another thing is they had all the VIP tables like around the stage, which was really cool. But I'm not sure if maybe it's possibly the first time they've done an event specifically in this like format and had it set up this way. Yeah. So again, it's just live and learn type stuff. But we had an assigned VIP table and ours was like on the side of the stage. We could not see.
Couldn't see anything.
We were looking at the back of the heads of a couple of guys. A plant, a speaker. So luckily, one of the tables that was right next to us, the party that was arriving was very late. And so we asked if we could move over there. And then if they arrived, they could have our table. And they let us do that. So we were able to move, luckily. So they did arrive quite late and they had our table. But yeah, that was not ideal, that place we were sitting. So I was really grateful that we were able to move. Kinks, But overall, it was very cool. It was very funny. And I told Greg, I think we've talked about this before. I just absolutely love hearing people tell stories. I love to hear about other people's lives. I'm genuinely interested. Like I can remember being little, and the kids go play, and I would only want to sit and listen to like my mom talk to her friends because I just wanted to hear what they were talking about, what was going on in people's lives. Like as a little tiny girl. Yeah. And so I think this is, for me, it's always been like, I just absolutely love listening to other people talk about their lives and their tales, whether it's smugglers or I don't know who's dating who or what's going on in someone's life or whatever.
I think the smuggling part is just crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy that went on to that extent.
Yeah.
Well,
it's crazy.
Terrifying I would be terrified.
The amount of money.
Yeah.
That was flowing through. I mean, and it was funny too, because Wayne was talking about with the Big Pine 29, which if you listen to his telling of it on our podcast, I actually thought his telling of it on our podcast was better than his telling of it at the Smugglers Tales.
He went a little more in depth on it.
Yes. But one thing he said at the show that I don't remember him saying on our podcast was he said for like weeks after the Big Pine 29 bust, you'd be like, hey, what's his face? Like his
where's
barber.
Sandwich
he's like,
Joe go?
Where's Sandwich Joe? Where's Clippers Carl? Like the guy,
Big
the
Pine
barber.
29.
He was in the Big Pine 29. So he said for weeks, everyone was just walking around like, where did Jerry go?
Big Pine 29.
Big Pine 29.
The rumor is there is way more than 29, but
somehow only 29 got.
But
I don't know, indicted
Big Pine
or
29
whatever.
Sounds good, and man. Where's Kayak and Chris? Big Pine 29.
It's just like people were just
fishing Fred.
Gone. They were just
Pine
gone.
29.
I mean, yeah. It's crazy. And then they were saying too that, and it was funny. I think part of the humor, I guess maybe of the stories too, is all the characters.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're talking about like this guy that they went to high school with, or this guy that, and he's this character and he's X, Y, and Z, or, there's so many funny stories that I just thought, I actually did really think it was very funny. Like, I laughed a lot in the whole entire thing because the way that they told the stories and just the way that they sort of reflect on, like, I think it was very crazy. It was very scary. It was very serious, especially when there started to be like a lot of crackdowns and stuff. But I think there was it was sort of the Wild West for a long while. And people were just like, one guy was like, oh yeah, I think they said something to the effect of like, oh yeah, like his daughter's getting married. So he's like, hey, can I get in on that load? And he would just like get on the boat. Right. Or whatever.
Make a quick $15,000, $20,000.
Yeah. Or like, I want a new car. Can I get in on that? And he's like, and Wayne said this too, which I thought was hilarious. He said, yeah. And he kind of talked about this on our podcast as well, but he was saying how it would be like, you'd be like, I mean, sure, I don't really have anything for you to do, but I guess bring the Cuban sandwiches. Yeah. You know, and so it would be like,
bring the watermelon.
Yeah. John, he's getting in on the load. He's bringing the Cuban sandwiches. You know,
watermelon. Walter now
he's bringing the watermelon, and so that's how it was like the Big Pine 29. There's so many guys. It was like because one guy was there with the Cuban sandwiches, one guy was there with the
there was essentially it turned into a party.
It was like a social
that got legit busted.
Yes, that got legit busted. Yeah, because everyone was just like, "Hey, can I get in on it? Hey, can I get in on it?" And they would just be like, "Sure," and then they'd give them some like it was like a potluck, literally.
It was, yeah.
It was a potluck.
That's what it was. Yeah, everyone's like, bring your favorite dish, and
but it was a pot.
Yeah, good one, babe.
You gotta appreciate my joke.
I got it now.
It's a pun. Yeah. So, anyways, it was a really great event. I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of the book. I don't actually know where you can buy this book. We just bought it physically there. I'm guessing probably Books and Books, which is the local independently owned bookstore. Yeah, I'm guessing they're there, so you could probably go on the Books and Books website, maybe on Amazon. I didn't look. I should have looked before we started recording. But again, it's Key West, A Smuggler's Tale. We'll look and see if we can find a link and put it in the show notes. Yeah. And Richard Conchboy Gomez is who wrote it. And he also made mention, too, that he has a Facebook page. I was hoping it was referenced in here somewhere, but I haven't found it. But I'm going to Google that as well. Yeah. And then you can like go on there and leave a comment if you read it and, if you liked it or whatever. So, yeah, that was sort of our, I think, big thing that we did last week. That was really fun. That was really
we had, I feel like the market's starting to pick back up a little bit.
Thank goodness, yeah.
We had some, it was pretty slow, 4th of July, beginning or the end of June. But even just in the past couple of days, we've had multiple showings. We had a pretty decent open house yesterday. Yeah. We're adding light staging to our property, 1023 Simonton. So
our listing,
yes, yeah, our listing, and I think it looks really good,
amazing. We should do before and after photos.
Well, we have before,
yeah. Once we have everything, because we haven't done everything. We've been ordering stuff; it's been coming in, but it makes a massive difference. That's something that we'll offer as well, as far as like we can come in and stage a property for someone who needs staging or design work, or like if someone who hires us to list their house and they need help, like we'll be able to definitely help.
Another thing that we're going to offer is, so we say we'll do property management, but we'll also essentially advertise your property. Yeah. And get it, because that's one of our most frequently asked questions on our live that we do when we go on our walks in the morning on TikTok. We do a live every morning, and that's one of our most frequently asked questions is, do we have rentals that people can stay at? So that's gonna be something we're gonna start tossing in there.
It's kind of a in between offering, right? So there's people who manage their own property, or there's people who pay a property manager to manage their property, but like something that I find, anyway, that could room for improvement, I guess I would say, is the reach of the properties and getting them in front. We were actually just talking to some family members recently who they've been coming to the Keys for years and years, and they continue to struggle because there's so many properties that are for rent, and just being able to figure out the exact right one that works for them, that checks all the boxes, that they can bring their pup to, all these different things. And it's really hard when you don't have someone who you can go to who is, I guess, responsive, who is consultative, who understands the properties, who gets people into the right properties. So it's this sort of middle ground where if you are managing your own property and you would like for it to have more exposure on
to get your occupancy rate up a little bit.
Or if you'd like some help as well with getting your nightly rate up through doing some staging, through doing some design work, those types of things can also increase the nightly rate that you can get. So yeah, it's kind of this middle ground where we're helping out people who are self-managed and would like to increase their income with regard to their rental property. So yeah. So you can manage it yourself. We'll just help you get more people in there.
A more active.
It is. It's an active marketing versus passive marketing. So you can have it on all the websites that everyone else has it on, and that's great. But it's really hard when there's so much competition. I mean, you're kind of, a lot of times, if you don't have something that's really, really unique about your property, and again, that's something we can consult with you on to add something that's unique that helps it to stick out. But if you don't have something that's unique, you're just competing on price. Really, that's it. That you're competing on price. It's a race to the bottom when you're competing on price. And so it really is about having someone who can help you either figure out a way to make your property very unique and memorable. So you can't be compared to someone else, really. And people want to spend more to stay with you because of the uniqueness of your property, and or it's active marketing of it. So people really are bought into the property versus it being like, well, this one's $165 a night and this one's $210 a night. Well, we're going with $165. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So what's going on this week?
So what's going on this week is, well, one thing that's going on is tomorrow evening is one of Lance's paint and sips.
It's not tonight?
It says July 11th on here. Okay. It could have changed, but on the Key West calendar, I mean, this one's at 24 North.
You're probably right.
Unless he has one going on at like the Comedy Club or something tonight.
No, I think it was...
Okay, so 24 North Hotel Paint and Sip Night with artist Lance Berry. So this is the Paint and Sip that we went to last
times. Yeah.
Yeah, but we went to 24 North last time. It's $40. You get a drink and all the art supplies and instruction. And yeah, Lance is great. So it's at the Republic Bar and Lounge at the 24 North Hotel, which is at 3820 North Roosevelt Boulevard, right when you come into Key West. It's
so if you're in Key West looking for something to do, kind of just like something maybe you wouldn't do back home or something like that, even though I know there's paint and sips all over, but a little different because you're in Key West. Yeah. I've had fun. It's fun. We've gone.
It's fun. It's fun to just go do something creative, and Lance makes it fun. They play music, you paint, you talk with other people, you get a cocktail. I know 24 North, you can order food too. They have like a food menu, so you can. It's a nice hotel, so yeah, fun thing to go do. And then starting on July 15th, or actually on July 15th, so it's Mel Fisher Days. It's the annual tribute that celebrates Mel Fisher, who was the Key West treasure hunter, who led the 16-year search for the Spanish galleon Atocha. The Atocha, if you've heard of it. And Mel's motto was "Today's the day," which I love because he searched for that treasure for 16 years. And every day he woke up and said, "Today's the day. Today's the day. Today's the day." And eventually it was. And I actually decided I'm going to do a video about Mel because it is Mel Fisher Days. And he has a really interesting story. But just to give you guys an idea, the treasure that was found on the Atocha by Mel was valued to be worth over $400 million. $400 million.
That's a lot of cheddar.
$400 million. Like, how wild is that? So it's an incredible story. I think it's just a cool historical story, but also just like with Mel being so tenacious and continuing on the path for 16 years.
Long time.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a good payday. I mean, 16 years of work, $400 million. Yeah, I mean, but yes, that is a long time. Not getting
paid for 16 years.
Not getting paid for 16 years and no promise that you ever would.
No guarantee you're going to find that.
Yeah. You know, I mean, the ocean is, think about when you're looking for a lobster hole, you find it, and then you're trying to find it again.
Yeah. You bring your head out of the water,
you lose it.
You lose it.
I mean, can you imagine?
Current.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it's a really cool story. So I'll do a video about it. But yeah, so that's, and I didn't tell you what the actual event was. So it's at Schooner's Wharf. It's a dock party celebration Saturday.
Dog party.
Saturday the 15th at Schooner's Wharf Bar. begins at 4. They're doing Mel Fisher trivia, a 50-50 raffle, silent and live auctions, live entertainment, and the presentation of the Mel Fisher Lifetime Achievement Award. I don't know who gets that.
Probably me.
An online auction opens in advance of the event on the 15th, and net proceeds benefit Wesley House Family Services and the Michael J. Apt Have a Heart Foundation. So, sounds like a really cool event, and also like
be there or be square.
Be there or be square. So yeah, that's what's going on. And then Hemingway Days is next week.
Oh,
so
okay.
Just previewing that for you. That's a big deal. So if you look like Ernest Hemingway, come to Key West next week and compete in the Hemingway lookalike contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You want to do HOTW?
HOTW. Hosts of the week.
You'd have like a sound warning on our podcast.
Warning.
Turn down the volume. Turn down the volume.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You got it, girl.
I do.
Winnie, what you doing over
If
there?
you hear Winnie, she's licking her paws. Okay, so the house of the week, we're just doing one this week. Uno, home. It is in Key West.
Casa.
Uno, casa. You know, I'm very careful about my...
Well, I'm sure I'm about to get ripped, so...
909 Pulaski Street. It is listed for $1,695,000. It is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it's 1,268 square feet. So it's a decent size. It's really cute. It's like a lime green color. Like when I first looked at it, I was like, it needs to be called like Key Lime Cottage or something, like Key Lime or something.
That's probably not taken.
No, I know. It wasn't original. It's the first thing that popped in my head.
It should be something like,
I'm just spitballing here.
Key Lime Pie or something.
Key Lime Pie House, Key West Conch Cottage.
Yeah.
Something original like
some
that.
cottage.
Key Lime
Nailed
or
it.
Conch, Key
Nailed
West.
it.
Yeah. So it's a new listing. It's only been on the market for 3 days. And this one is great because it is a legal duplex and they do have 2 rental licenses. So you could actually rent out the front and the back separately. Yes, legally. Now they are 30-day or month-long rentals. But
this could work out great for someone who maybe wants to live and then rent to help offset.
Yep.
That could be a great option.
And I'm thinking, I don't know, but just kind of based off of what I'm reading, I feel like that's what they're doing because they do have 12 months of rental history available
for the front unit.
Right? So probably they're living in the back unit, renting the front unit, and then there are projections or numbers, I guess, historical numbers that they've gotten. Yeah, so it was fully updated in 2012. So all impact doors and windows. It is in the X flood zone.
That's good.
Which is nice. Yeah, and they do list the insurances on here as well. And they are quite low.
They're quite low.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, we can tell you those numbers.
And as always, we always say someone else's insurances are no guarantee that you would be able to get the same insurance rates, but it is a data point. It is information. So, if you're interested, you can reach out. And, as they say on here, basically it's an as-is, it's a turnkey property, and it's something that you can either like produce income out of both, live and produce income out of one. There's a lot of different options here.
Just keep one for yourself.
Absolutely.
So you can pop in whenever you want.
Absolutely. And it's Old Town north of Truman. Yeah. So, it's Old Town if you're looking for an Old Town property. So nice little spot, new on the market. If you're interested,
hit us up.
Yep.
We'll help you out.
We will help you out. We'll always help you.
We're here to help.
Key Lime Cottage. Write that down.
Key Lime Cottage.
No, take it. TM.
Nope.
Key Lime Cottage TM. I trademarked it.
TM. Did you just trademark that? What else?
I'm trying to think of... Let me look back and make sure there's nothing that I'm missing before we sign off for the day. Ooh. We start...
Oh, we do start that.
Yeah. Hold on.
Forgot about that.
So, Greg's birthday's this week. So that's exciting on Wednesday, but also on Wednesday, we start our Key West Ambassadors program.
We do.
I'm actually really excited about that.
Yeah.
But I'm a nerd and I like to learn stuff. I like to know about stuff. But I'm very excited. So it's...
A brainiac, some might say.
Is it 12 or 13 weeks? It's 12 or 13 weeks.
I have no clue.
It's between 12 or 13 weeks. And we get to go and learn about all of like the different offices in the city
Pretty
that
much see how the city runs.
Yeah, see how the city runs. We get to see the inner
it'll be
workings.
very interesting. And
yes.
Bring our knowledge up.
Absolutely.
That's right. I also raised the roof.
We're going to bring it up.
Bringing that up. We're going from a 7-foot roof to a 12-foot roof.
Yep, we are. Yep, that's what the Key West ambassadors do. So we are doing that. I actually don't know how big the class is.
They've looked like in the past, like there may be 10 to 15.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I'm excited. We're starting Wednesday, so we'll see what that's all about. But we'll hopefully be able to share a lot of the knowledge that we learn and a lot of the information that we learn. So,
well, and for those of you wondering how old I'm turning.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to say it or not. I feel like it's
30.
I thought you said 70.
Well, 70 or 30.
You decide.
Or somewhere in between.
You be the judge.
But it is a very big.
It is. It's a milestone.
It's a milestone birthday once you get to this age.
80.
It's 80.
It's 80 years
old. It's actually 100. I'm a centurion.
A centurion.
But no, it is a very big one.
It's a big one
to hit.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fun dinner.
Yep.
And yeah, it'll be good. Life's good.
Send all your gifts to 1111 Key West.
Send all your gifts to the Florida Keys SPCA.
Oh, lovely.
If you'd like to make a donation, yes.
Or to
the sheriff's animal farm.
Or to Farmer Jeannie's Rivers Wish.
Rivers Wish.
Actually, Rivers Wish.
Yeah, Rivers Wish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Any animal organization, honestly.
That's what I'll put that I'll link it.
In the show notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So that's it.
That's it. It's been fantastic talking to you guys.
It has been.
We appreciate each and every one of you.
They're wonderful conversationalists.
They are, and we really appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
So you guys have a great week if you're watching this on Monday. If you're not, just have a great day.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys later.
We will.
Bye.